patriots gave their lives to win freedom and independence for this great land of ours. And the very first to die for liberty was Crispus Attucks, an American black man. It was in Boston on March 5th, 1770, that Crispus Attucks led a band of colonists against a patrol of redcoats. The Bostonians attacked the British soldiers with sticks, rocks, and snowballs, in this, the first open rebellion against the crown. The redcoats opened fire, and Attucks became the first man to give his life for our country. 4 of his comrades died shortly afterward, and this incident became known in American history as the Boston Massacre, March 5th, 1770. Nearly 200 years later, members of Newark's Crispus Attucks Society journeyed to Boston to pay tribute to this great American, joining the Boston Equal Rights League, headed by Mrs. Melnia Cass, in their annual tribute to Crispus Attucks. The group gathered at a monument erected by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in 1888 to honor Crispus Attucks and the others who fell at the massacre. Mrs. Constance Woodruff, secretary of the Newark organization, Mrs. Cass, and Boston city officials paid tribute to these martyrs of freedom. The Adjutant General of the Massachusetts National Guard represented that state's governor. Next, they visited the old State House, where mementos of the colonial period are on display. And then across the street to the actual site of the massacre, where they placed a wreath commemorating the historic event. Boston officials, Council President William Foley and Councilman Thomas Atkins represented their city at the ceremonies. Later, John Thomas, a Newark teacher and founder of the Crispus Attucks Society, praised those who died for liberty at this historic site. Crispus Attucks and his comrades were buried in a common grave at the Granary Burying Grounds with other colonial heroes. The delegation gathered with bowed heads at the martyrs' grave site to join in a prayer offered during a memorial ceremony conducted by Captain Roscoe Jennings of the New Jersey National Guard. The historic pilgrimage to Boston ended on this reverent note. It was a day to be remembered by all, and it helped to revere the memory of a great American who played a significant role in the birth of this nation. As with many of America's heroes, an annual parade is held in the city of Newark to honor Crispus Attucks. People fill the reviewing stands for the opening ceremonies, conducted by Connie Woodruff on a windy day in March, to watch thousands of Americans of all backgrounds participate in this tribute to the black hero of the Boston Massacre. It was through the efforts of the Crispus Attucks Society that the Newark Municipal Council declared March 5th Crispus Attucks Day and became the country's first city to designate this an official school holiday. Father Stobe of Queen of Angels Church offered the invocation. Captain Jennings gave the welcome address. Mayor Hugh Addonizio of Newark extended the city's greetings. John Thomas, founder and president of the society, spoke of the need to know and recognize the contributions made toward the development of our country by all Americans, black and white alike. He said we must rededicate ourselves to making the principle that all men are created equal a reality. Speeches honoring Crispus Attucks were heard prior to the introduction of the main speaker, William Booth, of the New York City Human Rights Commission. He said Americans today must continue to work for the ideals of freedom and democracy. Bands had their final practice as crowds gathered at Lincoln Park, the starting point of the parade. They waited anxiously for the police escorts to mount their motorcycles, signaling the beginning of the parade. These youngsters arrived early to get front row seats. Finally, the time arrived and the 3-hour parade was on its way.